Well, the snow's gone. The ground's still good and wet though. It's been down in the teens. It's a balmy 28 degrees here right now, but it's a beautiful day. So we're gonna head on back in here, back to these old hardwoods where I've been run out of since hunting season, but that's over. And I found some pretty good old vines today of history. There's so much stuff here just running over that white spot. So we're gonna give it our best try today. I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. There's a good solid 16, 17. Really no iron, but you never know what it is. Cold morning this morning. Something big. They go plumb back here. Look here. That's more than a shotgun shell. This whole area. Look at that. There it is. Well, it ain't fencing. You tell me what that is. Part out of a seed or something? I don't know. Let's see it. But it didn't show no iron. Made out of some kind of galvanized metal. Don't know how old that is. There you go. Well, I'm not carrying that through the woods. Well, I'll come back and pick it up later. I'm going to hang it here on a tree. All right. Right down this old road here. Old road bed. Hunters are gone. I'm back in these old roads. So we're going to ease on down it. Let's move on. There's a 17 to a 20. Kind of a high pitch. It's got a little iron in it too. Be nice to find another penny. One of these hunters has dropped. Oh, there's something. There you go. Old horseshoe. I suspect maybe an old farmer logging these old woods years ago. Still got the nails in it. Old horseshoe. That's nice. I like finding them. Nice old horseshoe. Well, that's nice. That's why the tone was kind of funny. Had an awful high tone in it though, of course. That's them old horseshoe nails. Who knows how old them is and what they made out of. Goodness gracious. All right, moving on. There shows an 18 to a 20 with iron. Probably a bullet. Look. Target moves around though. Nope, it is a shotgun shell. Goodness gracious. Rusted away too. We'll see what this one is. I'm just raking that light thing around. Old shotgun shell. It's a Peters High Velocity HB. You see it there. Peters HB. I'll clean it up better when I get to the house. You'll see a picture here on it. That thing is rusting away. And it's pretty old too. But we're moving on. There's a 25, a little iron. See what that is. Well, this is an old something. Some kind of little round. It might be a 410. Turn this thing off. This might be a 410. Let me clean it up a little bit and we'll see what it is. Yeah, it's a 410. You can see the little ridges down here. That down here on it, it's a 410 shotgun shell. And I can't really make it out. But I'll clean it up and give you a description of it right here, right now. Old shotgun shell. Them collectors there, they're hard to find. All right. That's a pretty good find right there. We're moving on. There's a 14, 16 with a touch of iron. So that's like a old rusty shotgun shell. Right at the base of this 200-year-old tree. Don't never know. When I least expected, there'd be something in this ground you never expected to be there. Nope. It's a shotgun shell and it's plastic. So we know it's not that old. It's made in at least in the 50s back. Winchester Ranger. That's one of the newer ones. And that's an old brand. That's an old brand of Winchester shells. Old Ranger. Don't find many like that. That's a newer version. It's when they started making paper. So, or plastic. They started putting plastic in them in the 50s. So, that was about 4 inches deep. Okay. Add to the collection. Moving on. There's a 15 to 17. That acts like a shotgun. We'll see. Right there looks like a hoof print. There it is. I just raked it out. See that? Went too deep. Went too deep at all. Maybe an inch underground. Let's see what this one is. Looks like a 12 gauge. Anyway, that's a federal monarch right there. Best I can get it to focus in the sun. Okay. We're moving on. I just got to show you these woods. These old timber in here. No wonder these guys like to hunt this so good. It's so open, it's so beautiful. It ain't so rocky right in here. Good valley on this ridge top. Beautiful day too. A little cold, but it's so beautiful. There ain't nothing better than getting out in the woods like this, getting away from this old rat race. I just love it. And if you like to find these old shotgun shells, you want to find stuff like this. Here's a 100-year-old plus tree that's died and went away. Now this is where you'd find your old shotgun shell. And I seen an old rock like this right here. I thought this was weird. Most of your rocks look like boulders or something just like this right here. But they don't look like that. And what I mean is strange, just look at the grooves in it. This 100-year-old tree is grown over top of this rock. And I've never seen one grooved like that. It's so weird. It's so weird looking at that. But anyway, I worked my way around these old rocky ledges as I come to these rocks. You noticed that if I always cramming that back in them rocks, I will get surprised big time one day. It's just a matter of time. And I happened to hit a target right here. It got my hopes up real bad. Hit a good sounding tone right there under the edge of that rock. So we'll see what that is. Let's move on. There's an 18. Little iron. A big target, whatever it is. It ain't small. Right under the edge of this rock. And I ain't hitting a thing. But it says it's right here. Let's put something in his leaves. There's that crazy target. Old shell case. I give him. But it's show better than that. It gets you excited under these rocks. I'm telling you, it just does. You just never know what you're going to run into in this old woods. That must have been it. Had me all excited. All right. Here's my hole back there. Moving on. There's no iron. 17 to 19. Right on top of this rocky knob. Shotgun shell, a beauty. Don't know how old that is. We'll see. Let's look at it and see. I'm in a bad way here. I gotta get up. This is an old favorite. An old favorite. if you can see it. Winchester new rival. You know that's an old one. Nice find. Right on top of this rocky knob. And it's rough. All right, we're moving on. There's a 14 to an 18. Just started walking the perimeter where I'm finding these new rivals and shotgun shells. They had to be an old hickory here at one time. It's gone. Died, rotted away. There's these things. The ground is loaded with these little worms. They look about the size of a maggot or something, but they're not. I don't know, some kind of worm. The ground's loaded with it. There it is. Shotgun shell, baby. People hate them. I love them. And I know a few of you all love them too. Not too old. I don't know. I have to look it up. Get it in an angle where you can see it. Peters Cartridge Company League. That's an old one. 12 gauge. It's about 4 or 5 inches deep right here on top of this ridge. That's an old one. Peters Cartridge Company is what that stands for. I'm pretty sure it does. Hard to see, but that's it. I'll clean it up better. Now that's an old one. All right, moving on. There's a 16 to 17. At the base of this old tree. See these old shotgun shells? You look around. I don't even find nothing they'd be hunting. Trees is long died, rotted away years ago. May have pulled that. Yeah, I think I see it. Right there it is. Another old shotgun shell. That is a Peters target. That's an old one. 6 inches deep. Well, that's a nice one too. Right on top of this ridge where I'm finding them new rivals. Clean up my mess. I always try to clean up your mess like it's not even there. All right, we're moving on. There's an 18 and a 19. No iron. Well, right there it is. That's a Winchester repeater right there. That's an old one too. Right, they're kind of rare. Okay, now there you go on that one. That's a nice find. Moving on. There's a 16 to an 18. Still on this knob. You can hear the interstate about 2-3 miles away. Crossing over towards to the north. Oh, I gotta get down off this rock. There it is. Looks like a 16 gauge. That's a Remington Sure Shot right there. That thing will focus. It don't want to focus today at light. Remington Sure Shot. Okay, we're moving on. Well, guys, I'm using an Equinox 600 made by Mind Lab, and it does a real good job. You can set it up in countless ways. Right here, I've got it set showing iron. You take that off, I've got it set to where it shows a good solid target. You're not picking up no iron at all like this. You kick your iron back on, and you tell how much iron's in your target too. And when you want to find it, pinpoint it. Right there, it'll pinpoint it. Now, all these lines will come up strong here. Put my foot there, see there? That's how that does. And all these sensitivities, and you ground balance it. You just look at your manual. But this is what I use. I love it. It's just a little bit heavier than that Technetics Delta 4000 I was using. But this can tell you the difference between the targets where that Technetics couldn't. Hope that helps you guys out. Well, here's the day's finds. Found 13 shotgun shells today. Pretty good day. Got back there in them old woods, back where the hunters is all the time. I seen 3 or 4 tree stands. The oldest shotgun is found today. This is a rare baby. Have to look this one up. This is a PCC League 12 gauge. And that stands for Peter Cartridge Company. That's before Remington and all them other ones tried to merge with them, take them over. Now, this dated 1896 to 1902. And it's not in bad condition. Been laying in the ground that long. Good shape. That's an old shell. That's a good collector right there. That's a rarity. That is a rarity right there. Okay. And then more Peters. Here's a Peters target. 1910 up to 1927 when they made this one. And it's not in bad shape. It's all according to where they lay. And what I mean by that, here's another Peters I found. It's a Peters HB, high velocity. Just got, bigger, more power in it. It was made the same years, 1910 and 1957. But see, it's not in as good a shape as this other one right here, because I guess it's where they lay. And what I mean by that, take this new rifle. I found 2 of these today. We know they're 120 years old or better. It's good condition, laying the ground that long, 122 years. That's a nice shell. Well, here's another one. Right below it, I found another one. This wasn't far away from that one, but this one must have been laying in water or something. Well, it's going away real easy. It's about gone. And they're the same thing. Old Federal Monarch, made from 1950 to 1960. This old W&W, it's made like 1950 to 1960 something. 12 gauge. They started putting plastic in them in the 50s. And what's puzzling this one, they started making this Winchester Ranger in 1927. So this, and they stopped making them in 72. So that tells you that at least this is in the 50s or more. I was surprised this is probably around the 60s, 70s, just before they stopped making it. But that's when they started putting them in there, and all the shells. This plastic is in the mid-50s. Another old shotgun shell. I thought it was a real old one, but it's going away real quick. It was a 410 shell, but it's a Remington Express 410. I was surprised it's not that old. It may be 30 years old or something, but it's going away quick. It's just according to where they lay in that wet ground in certain places. Of course, my biggest enemy is finding these things. I hate them. It's like them nails. I hate them. They will drive you crazy. Old inch staple in the middle of nowhere. You just chunk them things. And on these old shells here, found a couple of 22 shells. Remington, I suspect. This one here, it may be 30 years old. Because I've shot them myself, says Remington on them. But now this one, they look like they're the same thing, 22. Except this one is a lot older, going away. This is an old shell. Don't know how old it is. HP. It's a 22. This one's probably 20, 30 years old maybe. This one here may be a lot older. It's just hard to date them old 22s. This may be 70, 80 years old. Who knows? Well, that's the 22 shell. And this here, this bows me. I hate these things. Fun full of old woods is full of these old shell cartridges. That bowed me under a rock. And there's a couple old modern bullets. It's got lead on the inside, but it's got a copper jacket on the outside. You see it's mushroomed out. I wonder if I'd hit an animal or something. Right on top of that ridge. And that's this old horseshoe. I suspect this back there when there's logging. Them woods back in there in certain places has been logged. Now, some of these ridges has not been logged, old trees in them. Still got the nails in it. It's nice to find them. I found a few of these over time. Well guys, that's the day's finds. I've been kind of a little bit under the weather this week. And it was a hard walk back in there. So I got back in there where I hadn't been in a year because of them deer hunting. But I'm gonna head on back into the big rocks, time at a time, if the weather permitting. So I want to thank y'all for watching, and be patient with me. I just show it as I dig it. No cheating, no lying or nothing. Just the way it is. So I want to thank you for watching. Now, see you next time.